Dear students, today we are here, all of you are here to deal a question, and I will try to explain its answer also. And remember, the question we are going to deal now, it related to your JPSC mains examination. That means I have taken this question from your syllabus and it has been taken from the group D section. That is, there are numerous chapters are given there in group E, group B A, group B, group C, group D and group D also. I am talking about the paper number 6. I am talking about the paper number 6 of JPSC mains examination paper, that is syllabus. And the topic has been taken from the environmental science, specifically for JPSC mains examination, and the topic is biodiversity. In Hindi, Jaiv Vividhata. So, if a question comes related to biodiversity section, then there may be some sort of applied question may ask in examination. Although the chapter only is written that you have to go through biodiversity and its applications, but some questions can be framed, okay, as per the shadow of demand for the in the point of Indian point of view, that how the biodiversity affect in India and what is the importance of biodiversity related to India. So let's see the question what it says. The question is over there. Try to see that how does biodiversity vary in India and how is Biodiversity Act 2002 helpful in conservation of flora and fauna. This is question. Just try to go through once again that what question demands. How does biodiversity vary in India and how is Biodiversity Act 2002 helpful in conservation of flora and fauna. So remember, such type of applied question may ask in examination, but before coming in the answer segment, you must know very well that what the term, that is biodiversity, what is actually it is. So let's try to very first try to know, then after we will come in conclusion that how the answer related to this question. So you know very well the biodiversity can be defined as a community of all the living organisms, among them fall or the ecosystem. Okay, again I am repeating this statement. Biodiversity can be defined as a community of all the living organisms, among them from all the ecosystems. And you must also know the biodiversity is thus the variability between the species, within the species and between the ecosystem. One more thing here like to add over there, the term biodiversity was coined by the Walter Rosen in the year of 1986. So there are some sort of intro points is required so that your explanation come in a mainstream. Okay, one more thing for the knowledge point of view it is necessary to add over there, the biodiversity holds ecological and economic significance also. It provides us with nourishment, housing, fuel, clothing and several other resources. It is likely, I think, necessary to add over there, or for the knowledge point of view. It also extracts monetary benefit through the tourism also. Therefore, it is very important to have a good knowledge of biodiversity for a sustainable livelihood. So after knowing this fact related to biodiversity, it is necessary to come in the demand of this question. So what it says, the question as per the question, answer starts from here. Because this total answer is dedicated for the Indian point of view, so you have to encircle your information or the answer related to India. So what you write, India is one of the recognized mega diverse countries of the world, rich in biodiversity and associated traditional knowledge with just 2.4 of the land area. Okay, 2.4 of the land area. and you know that India accounts for nearly 7% of the recorded species, even while supporting almost 18% of the human population. So actually I am in a introduction segment, and you have to write about it. 7% of the recorded species, even while supporting almost 18% of the human population. And what again you are writing about India, that India contains a great wealth of biodiversity, okay, great wealth of biodiversity, and its forest, its wetlands, and its marine areas. So there are certain areas where biodiversity can be seen in a very extended discipline. So it is necessary to write the few more points, that the salient features of the biodiversity in India. So that there are many points by which you can draft your answer in a very beautify manner. So what you write, that now try to see this paragraph. The term of species, in terms of species research richness, India ranks 7th in the mammals. So there is a clear data over there, the updated data what I am going to tell you. In terms of species richness, India ranks 7th in mammals, 9th in birds, and 5th in reptiles. Now remember, what are diversity in India? About the flora and fauna. Basically I am talking about the fauna. The India ranks 7th in the mammal, 9th in birds, and 5th in reptiles. And in terms of endemism of vertebrate, groups, India's position is 10th in birds. Remember, India position in 10th in birds. 10th in birds with 69 species. So there are 69 species existent in India with respect of birds. Similarly, 5th in reptiles, fifth position in reptiles with respect of world I am talking, and with how much 156 species. Okay, later you write over the 7th in amphibians with 110 species. Again you write about the flora. So what you write over there? You write that India's share of crops is 44% as compared to the world average of 11% to space. So flora and fauna, you have to mention the biodiversity zone and its percentage respectively. Later you write, of the 35 global identified biodiversity hotspot. So with respect of hotspots also, you have to mention about India, that about the 35 globally, there are 35 globally identified biodiversity hotspots are till now. India harbors 4 hotspots, that is, the areas are Eastern Himalayas, Western Ghats, Indo-Burma region, and the Sundaland. I think all of you are well familiar with this specific zone, specific areas. So it is necessary to mention about it. So again you add a new points. The varied edaphic and climatic and the topographic condition have resulted in a wide range of ecosystem and habitat, such as what you write, such as forest, grassland, wetlands, okay, wetlands, and coastal and the marine areas also. So there are areas where the biodiversity can be seen. So marine ecosystem and desert in the India with the greater biodiversity. That these are the areas where the greater biodiversity can be recorded and can be seen and can be recorded also by the researchers. So later you write, so it is necessary to know about the how much percentage of land masses the covers, how much the specific areas such as the Trans-Himalayas covers how much land mass areas, how much percentage land mass areas. Similarly, Himalayas areas, how much it covers, desert how much it covers, semi-arid areas and the Deccan Plateau areas how much it covers, the land total land masses. It is necessary to know. So I think you can, if you would like to compile all those information in a discipline type pattern. So there are 10 biographic zone. So how much biographic zone? There are 10 biographic zone. 10 biographic zone. 10 biographic zone. And how much landmass it covers, it is necessary to know. So let's see. Trans-Himalayas areas, Trans-Himalayas areas cover total landmass, I think 5.7% of total landmass area of biodiversity. It covers 5.7. Similarly, Himalayas, talk about the Himalayas. Second one is Himalayas, how much is covered? Himalayas cover total landmass, how much? 7.2% of total landmass. 7.2% of total landmass areas of biodiversity. Similarly, desert area, how much it covers? So write down desert. Desert area covers, I think desert area covers 6.9 of total landmass. Similarly, semi-arid area, how much landmass cover? It covers 15.6%. So there is some sort of updated data it is necessary to know and necessary to mention in examination also. Similarly, Deccan Plateau. Once we will talk about the Deccan Plateau, it covers 4.3% of total landmass. Okay, so this type of information is required for the best performance. Similarly, you have to write about the Western Ghats. So once we write about the Western Ghat, how much areas it covers of total landmass? Western Ghats cover 5.8%. 5.8%. Similarly, the Gangetic Plain. The Gangetic Plain you have to write. Gangetic Plain cover 11% of total landmass of biodiversity. So these are the information which is required to mention in examination so that you can perform, you can present your knowledge in a very pattern and the discipline pattern. Okay. So let's see what the further information is required. So there are again the same thing I am going to deliver with in some sort of after adding a few new points. So there are 10 biogeographic zone distinguished clearly in India as follows. The first one I am just talked about, the Trans-Himalayas. The Trans-Himalayas, it is an extension of the Tibetan Plateau harboring high altitude cold desert in Ladakh and Lahore and Spiti, that is in Himachal Pradesh. It comprising 5.7% of the country's landmass. Similarly, just I have dealt now about Himalayas. The entire Himalayan chain running from the northwestern to northeastern India comprising a diverse range of biotic provinces. Okay, biotic provinces and biomes, and it covers 7.2% of the country's land masses. Just think about the portion biogeographic segment of 3, that is about the desert. The extremely arid areas, arid waste of the Aravalli Hill range comprising both in the salty desert of Gujarat and sand desert of Rajasthan, and it covers 6.9% of the country's total landmass. Similarly, just talk about the semi-arid. The zone between the desert and the Deccan Plateau, including the Aravalli Hill range, and it covers 15.6% of the country's landmass. Just talk about the Western Ghats. So Western Ghats, the hill region and the plains running along the western coastline south of the Tapti River, it covering an extremely diverse range of the biotic provinces and biomes, and it covers 5.8% of the country's landmass. So line by line you have to mention not only the covering landmass area, but where the extension also, where it is the extended areas also. Just talk about the Deccan Plateau or the Deccan Peninsula, the largest of the zones covering much of the southern and the south central plateau with the predominantly deciduous vegetation. So there are these areas cover deciduous vegetation, and it covers 4.3% of the country's landmass. We are talking about the biodiversity. Just talk about the Gangetic Plain. This plain is defined by the Ganges River system, and these plains are relatively homogeneous, covering about 11% of the country landmass. After that, you write about the northeast area, northeast India. So northeast India, the plain and the non-Himalayan, these are the non-Himalayan areas, hill range of the northeast India with a wide variation covering up vegetation, and it covers 5.2% of the country landmass. Remember. And last one is islands. The Andaman and Nicobar Island in the Bay of Bengal with a highly diverse sets of biomes, and it covers 0.03 of the country landmass. At the last, the coastal area. Just talk about the coastal areas. It also although it is cover very negligible area, but it also keep a importance. A large coastline distributed both in the west to west with distinct differences between the two. Lakshadweep Island, okay, this area cover the Lakshadweep Island are included in this with the present area, although they are being negligible also. So after knowing this fact, as per the demand of question, I am trying to present all the information as per the required question. So after that, once you try to go through the question again, there is some attachment over there. You have to also mention the Biological Diversity Act 2002. The question demands also related about it. That is about the India, related to India. So what you write, the Biological Diversity Act 2002. What you write, the Biological Diversity Act 2002 was brought due to India's attempt to realize the objective enshrined in United Nations Convention on the Biological Diversity, that is CBD 1992, which recognize the sovereign rights of the states to use their own biological resources. After that, after writing this much, it is necessary to know and necessary to add the acts also. What sort of acts were? So you have to add the act. There are more than 5 or 6 acts were there. That is Biodiversity Act 2002. I am just only mentioning the important one. Though the first act was the act has a objective to promote conservation and the suitable use of biodiversity. And the second act was, the act has a provision to respect and protect the knowledge of a local community, traditional knowledge related to biodiversity. Similarly, the act number 3 I am also adding now. These are authorized to notify areas of biodiversity importance as the biodiversity heritage sites under this act. So although there are many acts, in examination you can mention few more act also as per the demand of this question. So this day, as per the demand of question, I tried to frame answers related to this question, and I hope, not only hope, but I believe that you are convinced with my performance. So again I am telling you, if you are well aware about my channel and if you are following my channel, please try to share with your friends. Every day I will try to bring all the relative content related to the mains examination. Remember, this type of information not only help in JPSC but UPPSC, BPSC and UPSC also. So always remember, this type of information is required, and the answer, the discipline answer is required for the examination, specifically for mains examination. So I hope that you are practicing well, you are writing well, and you are preparing well for the coming examination. Be ready for the next topic which I am about to deliver very soon. Till then, keep writing, keep practicing, and again I am going to meet you. Till then, bye bye.